Alright, welcome today back into the kitchen. We are going to be making some different lunch recipes, or one lunch recipe. We're going to be making chicken quesadillas. We'll be cooking the quesadillas in the microwave and in the oven today, just to kind of see a couple different ways that we can make these. It's a pretty easy recipe. I already have some of my prep already done. So I got the chicken. I took a chicken from a rotisserie chicken that was already cooked. But you can take chicken that is already cooked from really anything. So if you have cooked chicken, if you want to cook it up before this meal, you can do that. If you had some leftover chicken that you wanted to use, this would be perfect for it. Since it is a lunch recipe, we try to make it a little bit as quick as possible. Also, if you have canned chicken or really anything like that. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to be cutting our pepper today. So I have a different kind of knife things that, if you're not a really big fan of knives, we have all different kind of chopping and things like that, tools today. So today I will be using the knife to get the core out, but you could, if you wanted to, use this knife as well, that has kind of like a holder to it. So actually, I'll be showing you how we can do that. So as you can see, this one doesn't have all the control, but it is a lot easier to hold. So, and the main part was we just wanted to get this core out with all the seeds, which it succeeded in doing that. I always like to just kind of rinse out my pepper, just to hopefully get some other seeds that might be stuck in there. And then you can cut it like so. And if there's any other seeds or anything like that, we're going to try to just pull them away and off to the side. So this is kind of how we can cut with one of these knives. Now I'm going to want these in smaller pieces, so as we add it to the bowl, I'm actually going to be using kitchen shears. I feel like that works easiest to just kind of cut up the little pieces of pepper. And you don't have to use a green pepper, you can use a red pepper, a white pepper, really any bell pepper to your liking or choosing. We're just going to cut up about half of it today. Alright, so in that bowl, now that we have our peppers cut up and everything like that, we are actually going to be mixing our chicken. I'll put some chicken in there as well. And then we are going to measure out, make sure that we have 1/4 of a cup of cheese. Or you can, I like cheese, so I am going to throw in just a little extra cheese. And then we have our taco seasoning that we will also be using. We're going to be getting a full tablespoon of that taco seasoning. Okay, we'll put that all in there. And that's kind of nice because this is really all we have to do. So you can take a fork or a spoon, or when your hands are clean, you can use your hands as well to kind of mix them all together. So I just washed my hands, so I am actually going to use my hand and just kind of mix all my chicken, my seasoning, and everything like that. I need a little bit more chicken. Perfect. All right, so that's kind of the fun part. So the next part is I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Just right before I cook the tortillas. Try cutting down on that cross-contamination, even though the chicken is already. Alright. So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to microwave just 2 tortillas on a plate here, just for a couple of seconds for the microwave. I'm just going to microwave those for about 15 seconds. And then while those ones are being microwaved, I am actually going to also get the tortillas ready to go into the stove top. So, first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray those ones. And then I'm going to, the side that I sprayed, I'm going to put down on my baking sheet. Perfect, just like that. We're going to remove the tortillas that we warmed up in the microwave. So, next part is the fun part. So, we're going to just kind of put some of our cheese, pepper mix and seasoning onto our tortillas. We're going to take 2 more tortillas. And just kind of lay that down on top. No, it doesn't look like it has as much, but more. I'm going to lay that right down there on top, and then we're just going to spray the top, just a little bit of cooking spray on top of those. Okay. And then, all we do with these is we already preheated our oven to 450 degrees. So all preheating is our oven can't just magically get to 450. It takes us a little bit of time. So before we started this video, we already started preheating our oven, so it would be at 450. So we would be all good to bake. We're going to put that into the oven, and we're going to set our timer down here for 10 minutes. And we're going to hit start. Now we know we need to remove those at 10 minutes. Alright, so kind of moving on to a little bit more of our microwave. So I'm going to get a little bit of a bigger plate. And it's kind of the same thing. So since we have these tortillas done and everything like that, then all we do is we kind of can just put some of our ingredients and put all the chicken mix and things like that down on the plate. And then you can cook 2 at a time if you would like. I am just going to cook this one. And then depending on the power level of your microwave, I'm going to cook this for about 45 seconds on this microwave. On your microwave, you might only need 30 seconds or maybe a minute. Now as you can see, we have our cheeses melted in that quesadilla and everything like that. And it looks pretty good and it smells really good and it's ready to eat. Now, if you wanted to, before you actually join those peppers in, you could have microwaved them for about 10 to 15 seconds to soften them up. I really like my peppers crunchy, so I decided not to do that stuff, just because I like that extra crunch that I get when I microwave them. And that is how you microwave a tortilla. You want to let that cool down probably for a minute or so, and you can enjoy your lunch. And we still have about 7 minutes on those ones coming from the oven. Alrighty, so those ones that we put in the oven for about 10 minutes are getting done. I've been watching them while they've been kind of cooking and everything like that, and they look pretty good. Three, two, one. They're done. Perfect. Alright, so you want to make sure that you put an oven mitt on, just to make sure that we don't burn ourselves, because we want to be safe. Again, the pan is hot, and everything like that. As you can see, they look pretty good. They rose a little bit. So I am actually going to use a spatula, because I don't quite want to touch them yet. And I'm going to put them onto my plate. And then I'm going to let them cool down for a little bit. I also want to make sure that I do turn off my oven now that I'm not using it. Okay. And yeah, as you can see, these are what they look like. Now we talked about the different knives you can use. So if you wanted to, once they cool down a little bit, you could cut them in half or squares or however you would like to eat them. They are pretty hot though, so you might want to give them just probably a couple minutes before you get to that point. So we still have a little steam coming out from them. But yeah, now all you need is, if you enjoy sour cream or salsa, you can use some sour cream and salsa. You can also, if you wanted to, they're hot enough that you could sprinkle some cheese on the top of them as well, and it would definitely melt the cheese in a couple of seconds. So, but there you have it. There you have some lunch.